This is a full 100% completion gameplay walkthrough, including all Steam achievements for the game Cleo, A Pirate's Tale. Granted, there are other video format and also hint-based non-spoiler walkthroughs. To differentiate my guide, each step is written to be as simple and straight to the point as possible. There are many other things to interact with in each area that offer up world-building context, flavor, and jokes. I will not be going over anything that isn't directly related to moving to the next step of the story completion, and I implore you to take the game openly and leisurely for the full gameplay experience. If you do not wish to see spoilers, please use a different guide. This guide will also point out each and every achievement for the Steam version of the game. I do not have access to the GOG version, however I imagine the achievements are the same. That goes with saying this walkthrough should also be valid for the Nintendo Switch version, though I do not have access to it either, nor do I think that Nintendo has achievements at all. Cleo, A Pirate's Tale is a roughly 4 to 5 hour long narrative point-and-click adventure game that released in 2021 from the German solo developer Christoph Schultz. It's a light-hearted storybook full of beautiful pixel artwork, mesmerizing soundtracks, and some great voice acting in between puzzles. A real love letter to the Monkey Island series. I highly recommend playing through it for the first time blindly without using a guide. I'm putting this guide together for people who are absolutely stumped in the puzzles or are seeking to replay the game a second time to collect all the achievements. Hi, I'm Scurvy Banana, and I do this YouTube channel so that I can talk about games that have pirates in them. Feel free to check out my other content, such as the Peach Leaf Pirates main story walkthrough, or the Beginner's Guide to Sea Dogs, or maybe one of my opinion piece type videos, like my thoughts on King of Seas. If you like my stuff, you can go ahead and do the whole comment, subscribe, like thing. Thanks. Throughout this intro section, you'll be prompted to learn the controls. WASD movement, tab for your journal, mouse right and left for interactions, and a middle mouse button for inventory. Use the shovel to dig up 3 dirt spots. Use the sword to kill the skeletons that crawl out of the ground. Achievement, the Lawnmower Man. Use the sword to cut down all the grass tufts in this area. Some are a bit hidden in the artwork and shadows. An untouched dirt spot will glint. Dig it up to get the kalimba. Achievement, Leitmotif. You are currently controlling Captain Cabecca. Play out the notes to spell his name on the kalimba. That would be C-A-B-E-C-A. Open your map and correlate the burn holes with their respective numbers and letters to understand what to play on the kalimba. After putting this together, you should have the order 1C, 2E, 3A, 4B, 5E. So then play those notes. C-E-A-B-E. After the secret door opens, grab the Will-O-Wisp. Chapter 1, Captain Avery and a Death by Drowning. This chapter is separated by 3 distinct scenes. Take the first rum bottle off the counter and serve it to Butt-Hair Pete. Take the second rum bottle outside of the bar to Granny Gabble. When you return inside, you'll be prompted to visit the kitchen and work. In the kitchen, you'll need to grab fish from the big pile and hand them off to Hatchet Herbert. This will need to be repeated several times while Cleo and Hatchet Herbert converse. Herbert will finally cut into a fish that contains a dead man's hand clutching a book and leave the room. Achievement, Dutiful. After the chef walks away, grab another fish out of the pile. Interacting with the book hand on the cutting board table will prompt a puzzle to unlock the hand from the book by pressing different fingers. The ligaments seem to be in working order because touching one finger will trigger some of the others to move as well. Achievement, Knick-Knack. Unlock the book with a minimal amount of steps. It's 2. Pinky finger and then ring finger. That would be fingers number 5 and then fingers number 4. Finally, interact with the blood on the wall. Go below deck and chat with Eric about learning to play Kraken Fodder. Go above deck and talk to Not Joe at the bow of the ship. He'll let you borrow his Kraken Fodder set if you know a thing or two about knots. Not Joe will ask you who invented a certain knot, and then he'll make a statement like, an immortal hamster with a ukulele. Choose the let me think about that option, but remember the description that he gives. Go below deck and ask Eric about knots. He'll get mad and say Joe talks about them to himself in the cargo hold. Go all the way left behind the stairs. The cargo hold is locked. Return above deck to Captain Butthair Pete and get the cargo hold keys. On your way back to the cargo hold, below deck, check the Not Father poster on the wall. Grab the round piece of paper that is behind it. Use the key to unlock the cargo hold. In the cargo hold, use the tab button to put the round paper on the barrel. In accordance with whatever description Joe gave you, line up the outer barrel rim image with the image on the paper. In the example I gave, an immortal hamster with a ukulele, the image on the rim of the barrel will be the hamster, and it will need to be lined up with the image of the ukulele on the paper. Finally, the adjective at the beginning of his statement, which in my example was immortal, will have a slot that will change showing the correct name. Once you've figured out your puzzle, go and tell Joe the name, and then he'll give you the Kraken Fodder set. Return to Eric and learn how to play cards. Save the game here. Achievements: Ambitious and Natural-Born Kraken Fodderer. These 2 achievements cannot be completed during the same run of the game. So, if you'd like to knock them both out in one sitting, save your game before playing cards. Keep in mind, further achievements require you to win every Kraken Fodder match, 3 in total, on your very first try. You can get around restarting the whole game by making sure the game save you continue is after the completion of the achievement Natural-Born Kraken Fodderer, while continuing a save after just the Ambitious achievement will require you to fully restart this whole sequence to get the later Kraken Fodder related achievements. To get Ambitious, lose the match to Eric and ask to play cards again. To get Natural-Born Kraken Fodderer, beat Eric on your very first try. Retrieve the tools from the top shelf on deck for Eric. Go below deck, and then back up. Finally, go to the empty side of the boat. Talk to the siren and gather the 19 follow flower blossoms around the area. On the furthest right side of the island, after the swamp, there is a section of water that shows another area of land. A darker portion of the water looks like it is a crossing, but it is actually shrimp. The shrimp give you a broken hairpin, which you will use on a dresser at the beach to the south. Take the socks and Maltese cocktail Bible. Use the socks on the clothesline to distract the crab in order for you to steal the tights. From the left of here, make your way down the rock pathway to Maltese boat. When he is done talking, pick up the jawbreaker he spit on the ground. Directly north of the beach camp with the laundry, there is a small outcropping of rocks that leads directly to a forked tree branch. Use the tights and the jawbreaker here to blast the beaver for the shrimps. return to the shrimp to cross the river. Before picking any more flowers, grab the wooden leg from the beaver dam and then save your game here. Achievements: only the bare necessities and perfectionist. These two achievements cannot be completed during the same run of the game, which is why we saved. After achieving one, you can go ahead and reload to do the other. Only the bare necessities requires you to gather only the exact 20 follow flower blossoms asked by the siren. Perfectionist, on the other hand, requires you to gather every follow flower blossom on the island for the siren. This should be a grand total of 56, if I counted right. While heading back to the siren, stop at the cup and straw in the very middle of the swamp. It'll bring up a swamp monster who wishes for a mustache. Finally, bring the flowers to the siren, and she will drain her pool. Achievement: scared of the dark. Go into the newly revealed cave and then immediately walk back out again. Going too far into the room will cause it to become lit up. You must enter and exit while it is still dark. Inside, chat with the great Yiko Mileli and take the parrot. Also collect the tomato growing on the side of her bookshelf. Go back to Malty's ship and use the wooden leg to fix the Cockthall 8000 machine. Check the cocktail Bible book to see that you can craft the Michael Hair Jordan cocktail for someone who wants facial hair. The cocktail recipe is a base of whiskey, a modifier of a Testos tomato, and a flavor of coconut milk. Take the cocktail to the swamp monster and then collect his disregarded cocoon. Give the cocoon to Malty for use as a sail on the boat. Chapter 2: The Will-o'-the-Wisp of the Sunken Gallery. This chapter has a very large map and you will freely travel between islands. This section also has a large bulk of achievements based around the map traveling and fishing mechanic. Talk to Ingo in the information hut. He gives you a fishing pole, bait, and a full map of the islands. Take a hard left here after exiting the dock and collect the sunscreen from the sunbathing woman. Go into the hotel and steal some of the corks located to the very left side of the staircase. Exit the hotel and head straight north into the cemetery to take one of the lemons growing from Benny Badbreath's grave. Head back to the ship to talk to Malty to sail to a different area. Long achievement intermission. This is going to be the achievements, good fishing, and a letter opener in all of their states of bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Fishing uses a combination of line, colors, and bait. Using certain bait and fishing line colors within certain map quadrants will result in fishing up different things. The good fishing achievements require you to fish a grand total of 100 times, which will happen almost naturally while hunting the letter opener achievements. So for bronze you need to fish 25 times, for silver you need to fish 50 times, and for gold you need to fish 100 times. Now for the letter opener achievements, they require you to fish up 64 different messages into bottles. These are all notes that were written by Kickstarter backers. In order to fish up the messages in the bottles, you'll need to use the starter bait, which you have an infinite amount of, as well as green fish as bait. So to start, I suggest fishing up the required 27, if I counted right, green fish, following the on-screen guide that I'll be showing with all of the map locations, as well as the line and bait combination colors to fish up all 64 of the bottles. So a warning, you must read the messages and not discard the bottles. You gotta do this all in one playthrough, I'm pretty sure. So for the letter opener achievements: bronze, you need to read 1 message in a bottle; silver, you need to read 10 messages in a bottle; gold, you need to read 25 messages in a bottle; and the platinum is 64 message in a bottle. I have seen some comments where people say they need a 65th. I believe I have all of the quadrants and coordinates and stuff for 65 of them, if that is the case for you. Also, the achievement Globetrotter you can go ahead and do here, which is to visit every single section of the map. You'll visit almost all of them while you're doing the letter opener achievement, so you might as well go to the other missing quadrants and go ahead and get the Globetrotter achievement at the same time as well. Visit one of the mushroom islands and cork up some of the holes. The related mushrooms on the other mushroom island will now be unable to run away. Go and pick them. Return to Palm Island and talk to Fleur, who is rummaging through books and papers at her table in the back of the hotel lobby. Return to the ship and craft up a risky on the docks cocktail to entice Fleur into playing cards with you. The cocktail recipe is a base of tequila, a modifier of sherbet powder, and a flavor of lemon. Save your game here. Feed Fleur the cocktail, and then show her your souvenir mushrooms to wager her Atlantis ticket. Achievement Merciless. You need to win the Crack and Fodder game with Fleur on your first try. This is why we saved. If you fail, you can reload your save. Visit Atlantis with your new ticket. Use the table in the back for directions to the sushi restaurant. Take the loose thread from the golden cape. Tickle the mummy for a piece of its thin paper wrap, and also don't forget to talk to Attila about borrowing the will-o-wisp. He refuses. Go north to the Sushi Madness restaurant and talk with the owner. He makes a deal. If Cleo brings him a gold-toothed piranha, he'll give us something rare that we can give to Attila for the wisp. Also, take the pencils off the children's table to the left of the restaurant, and retrieve the crab claw from the bucket in the window. Back to Palm Island, and go to the lighthouse on the right side of the island. Achievement Clumsy. Go up and down the lighthouse stairs until you fall down it 2 times. I believe this is randomly triggered when you fall, so it could take many tries of going up and down the stairs. At the top of the lighthouse, use the greasy leftover sunbather's lotion and then the crab claw to reposition the light. Return to the sunbather and let her know that she is burnt. Take the room card that she drops. Into the hotel to check the card information with that in the guest book. I believe this is randomized per playthrough as well, but the card will give a room number, example, room 16 of hearts, as well as a 3-number check digit, which is visible on the card. The guest book will show a name next to the room number. Once you've gotten your information straight, talk with the receptionist and then enter the exhibition room, firstly telling the correct information to the receptionist. Visible on the card, the guest book will show a name next to the room number. Once you've gotten your information straight, talk with the receptionist and then enter the exhibition room, firstly telling the correct information to the receptionist. While in the exhibition room, use the thin mummy paper and the children's colored pencils on the fishing chart to make a copy, and interact with every single exhibit in the museum. Don't forget the eels, because I almost did. As visible on the chart, the gold-toothed piranha has multiple paths to catch as shown. Should be pretty straightforward here. The letter and number is a map quadrant, the fish is the bait you need to use, and the color of the line pointing to each one is the color of fishing line that you need to use. The yellow line is the golden thread that we took from the Golden Cape in Atlantis, if you missed it. Personally, I went the route of quadrant F3 using normal bait and a blue line, and then going to A4 using a green fish with yellow line, going to I4 using a purple fish and the green line, and then finally going back to F3 to use the blue fish with the yellow line to get the gold-toothed piranha. Turn in the gold-toothed piranha to the Sushi Madness owner, and he'll... Chapter 3, A Coin on Pambo Island. This is a relatively short section that takes place predominantly on Pambo Island with the exception of cinematics. After lengthy dialogue with Avery, it will start to rain. Use the empty coconut half with the stream of water leaking down the cliffside next to the cave entrance. Go to the cocktail machine and craft a coffee to no cocktail for yourself and consume it at the top of the hill. The recipe will be a base of mead, a modifier of rainwater, and a flavor of coffee. You'll be in a pitch black room walking around in your thoughts. The correct answers will light up with a ring of color, while the incorrect answers will light up with a ring of just white. You'll want to remember the correct answers for the next upcoming achievement. After you wake up from the first round of meditation, a lightning strike will scorch the tree. You can collect the flaming root branch off of the bottom right side and use it as a torch to go into the cave, which will allow you to pick up the shovel and a golden coin that was hiding behind it. Achievement, Namaste. During the second coffee meditation, touch only the correct thoughts. If you do not remember them, they go in order of portrait, coffin, Pambo Island, Avery Alwick, gold coin, and Attila. After waking up, talk to Avery about your epiphany, then ask Malty to sell us out. He can't without a light. Use the shovel to dig up the worm. While it's in your inventory, the worm will eat the leftover glowing mushrooms. Feed the rest of the worms the glowing mushrooms and then dig them up. Finally, use the now collection of glowing worms with the shoal of fish that are in the water just under Avery. Ta-da! Now you can sail out of the fog. Back at Atlantis, the console requires a code. If you check your ticket for the Atlantis exhibition, it says that it was established in 1652. Go ahead and try that number. Now you can take the Kraken fodder set. Chapter 4, The True Pianist of McAnally Palms. This is the final chapter of the game. You'll reunite with a couple of old pals and hopefully get revenge. Maybe shed a tear when the credits roll at the very end. Go left and chat with Archibald before getting booted out of the admin building. Go ahead and save your game here. Achievements, Kraken Fodder God and Kraken Fodder Veteran. If you've done it right, you should pull both of these achievements at the same time. For Kraken Fodder God, you need to win all Kraken Fodder matches on the first try. And for Kraken Fodder Veteran, you need to win a Kraken Fodder game against Eric, Floor, and Schmoder. Beat Schmoder at the card games, and he'll let you into Teddy's bar. Enter Teddy's bar and talk with everyone. After chatting with everyone, the room will extend a bit, and you'll see Captain Quebeca sitting in the back. You can go talk to him now. Your halo will start to glow, which signals you to return to the administration building. After the shrimp rescue you, go to the hotel lobby and take the ashes in the wall fireplace on the right side of the staircase. Exit the hotel and go dig up Brita's grave for her liquor at the far north of the cemetery. At the publishing building, outside the lighthouse, have a chat with Avery, and then, after he flies away, interact with the ink barrel and dunk your personal journal into it with the tab button. Go down the steps to the fishing spot, and you'll find the ruined drink robot. You can still use him to craft a near-death on the beach cocktail for yourself. The recipe is going to be herbal liqueur, a modifier of cold ashes, and a flavor of personal sacrifice. Here, you'll use your inked-up diary. After returning to the administration room of the dead, head left. Investigate the paper sticking out of the drawer nearest the door. It's Aponzo's file. Take the paper clip at the top of this page, but also remember his ID number of 1365. Achievement, Masochist. Go ahead and jam that paperclip into the junction boxes and shock yourself. Now do it 20 more times. Using the paperclip on the junction box nearest the door prompts the old lady to bring out a protocol book. While her back is turned, move over to her desk and check out the weird keypad. Cleo seems to be missing some numbers. We'll try again, using the junction box by the door, but then this time also using the junction box on her desk while her book is out. After she moves the book and beats the shredder into working order, crawl over to her desk and read the book. It shows instructions to activate Halo, and then has 3 weird symbols, and then a 4-digit ID number. The strange symbols correlate to numbers on the weird numpad that she's got. Make her turn her back again, and then enter the 3-digit symbol, followed by Aponzo's ID number that you got from the file. If you're having trouble remembering all of these numbers, the full lineup is 7141365. Now you'll get a final cutscene because congratulations, you just beat the game. That will also trigger the achievement, the listener, which is for completing the game. Now you can reflect on the phenomenal gaming experience as the credits roll, and you get serenaded by Mr. Christopher Schultz himself. And if you liked, you can thumbs up this guide or the video or whatever, or write a positive review for the game. Thanks.